Hey guys, this is Gaurav. Welcome to SaaS with ServiceNow. This is my second video for ServiceNow Developer Training. Now, before I start, let me give you a quick introduction about myself. My name is Gaurav Tripathi. I have around 9.5 years of experience in IT. I have with 6.5 years of experience in ServiceNow Architect Solutions and Project Delivery. Client-side scripting. Now, this is our main topic for this particular session, that is client-side scripting. If you remember from one of my video I posted, that is the first part of my developer training, is about three types of scripting we have in ServiceNow. One is client-side scripting, another is server-side scripting, and third one is mid-server scripting. So the major scripting which we use, as a core platform developer, we use client-side scripting and server-side scripting. Client-side scripting is something we use which you want to change something on user's browser. If you want to place something around user's browser, whatever he sees in the front end, and we want to modulate something, maybe show some data, that's how we use client-side scripting, which basically gets loaded on the client, that means user's browser. So what are we going to learn? So in this particular session, we are going to talk about client-side scripting, and the four topics which we will learn today is what is client-side scripting, where to use client-side scripting, client-side APIs and methods, use cases of client-side scripting. So I will show you some practical examples directly on my personal developer instance, that how exactly you code on client-side scripting in ServiceNow. Client-side scripting. Client-side scripts execute within a user's browser and are used to manage forms and form fields. So if anything which is running on user's browser, you are showing on the screen on the user's browser, you have to change something on the browser, then it comes client-side scripting. As an example, we have mentioned some of the examples like show an alert when form loads. So if I'm loading an incident form and I want to populate an alert, I can do it with the help of client-side scripting. Validate form data. If I'm loading the form and the user is filling the form and I want to validate that data, I can do it directly from the front end. I can do it from the user's browser end with the help of client script. Then if I want to show and hide some choices of field, so if I have a choice field, it has 10 choices. Now I just want to make 5 choices visible for the users. In that case, I will utilize client-side scripting. If I want to hide or show a section on incident form or change form, then I will utilize client-side scripting. If I want to set a value on the form, then I will also again use client-side scripting. Confirmation on submit. So for example, if user has filled in the form and once he clicks on submit, I want to give a pop-up like a confirmation to the user. I can also do that, like, are you sure you want to submit this incident? Those are some examples in which we definitely need to do client-side scripting. Where to use client-side scripting? Now, where exactly you can write these client-side scripting in ServiceNow? So there are a lot of places in ServiceNow, like functionalities, where you can exactly write the client scripts in order to utilize in different functionalities. For example, Ajax client scripts, UI policies, service catalog UI policy, client scripts, UI actions, UI context menus, and then validation scripts. Now, these are some places where you can write client-side scripting. I will definitely show you all the examples in one of my video. However, in this particular session, we are just talking about what is a client-side scripting. But overall, bigger use cases for each functionality like client scripts, UI policy, we have a different section, we have a different session for that. And in this session, we are just talking about what is a client-side scripting. But I will still show you some of the examples that how exactly we use them. Client-side glide classes. Now, ServiceNow provides a lot of APIs in order to use client-side scripting. So if you want to change something on the form, if you want to fetch some data for the user, these are the things which you use as part of the APIs. For example, Glide Ajax you have, Glide User, these are the APIs which ServiceNow provides. They provide some APIs and methods so that you can utilize them to perform your client-side scripting like Glide Ajax, Glide User, Glide Menu, Glide List 2, Glide Form, and Glide Dialog Window. We have some more as well, and I will let you know that how exactly you can see all those APIs in ServiceNow. Client-side API. As I mentioned in my previous slide, these are some other as well, like Glide Ajax, Glide Flow, Glide Form, Glide Model, Glide Dialog Window, Glide List 2, Glide Document V3. These are some other client-side APIs as well. Now, I will mention a URL in my video. In your description, you will find that URL and you can just see the list of APIs we have for a client in ServiceNow. The first API we will talk about. Now, this API is being used, I think, every time I would say. So this is the Glide user is used to get information about the logged in user. Now, if you want to get some information about the logged in user, then you have to use this API. So the object which is used to access Glide user methods is G underscore user. It is used only in client. And the syntax we have is like G underscore user dot Glide user method. And I will definitely show you how to use these APIs. So we will just learn about few major APIs, which I think you will use them in your everyday coding. But I will show you the practical example of each and every API we have for client in ServiceNow. Glide Ajax. Glide Ajax is used to call server-side code from client. That means if you want to fetch some data on the client from the server, then you use Glide Ajax. Glide Ajax instance is called with Glide Ajax constructor. It is used client scripting. Syntax of Glide Ajax is var GA equal to new Glide Ajax script include. Glide form. Glide form is used to customize forms and perform some activities on the form. The object which is used to access glide form method is G underscore form. It is used only in client. So only client, you're not going to use it on server end in server scripting. No, it is only being used in your client. And then the syntax we have is like G underscore form dot glide form method, and we have some parameters. And we will see further that how exactly you use this glide form. So every API has its own utilization, own feature, I would say. So in order to get some functionality fulfilled, you have to use these APIs. Next is Glide Dialog Window. Now, Glide Dialog Window is used for displaying a dialog in current window and frame. It is used only in client. So on the form, for example, you want to put some pop-up, then you can use this Glide Dialog Window. Maybe you want users to put some extra information on the incident form and you want to give a pop-up where they fill something and then you push that data into your ServiceNow form. You can do it with the help of Glide Dialog Window. Now, ServiceNow is also keep on coming up with new versions for these kind of APIs like Glide Dialog Window. I think they came up with Glide Model then. They also have in list version, they have Glide List 2. They also have Glide List version 3. So they are coming up with different APIs. Now, how exactly you can access all these APIs in just one list? As I mentioned, I will paste that link in my description of the video. Practical lab and use cases. So we just talked about what exactly the client side scripting is and where exactly you will use them. Now I will go to my personal developer instance and I will show you each and every example so that you can understand what exactly client-side scripting is and why exactly we use that, or in what situation, in what use case you have to use client-side scripting, not server-side or maybe mid-server scripting. So let's take a look. This is my personal developer instance. Now, first I will show you about Glide Form. Now, Glide Form API provide methods to customize forms. So if you want to customize the form, you can utilize this Glide Form API. Now, how? I will show you. For example, you have this incident. I will go to Open. I will click on Client Script. Now, this is one of the places. So if you remember, we talked about the where exactly you can use client-side scripting. So this is one of the place where we can write our client-side scripting. That is called client scripts. And I think you can definitely understand with the name we have, client scripts. So it is not a server script. It's just a client which runs on the browser, user's browser. So if I click on New, so I will show you this API and all the methods we have. So I just clicked on New. It's running a little bit slow, maybe because of my internet connection. Okay, now it's get loaded. So I will just create a test script basically, which runs on incident table, UI type desktop for now, and I will run it on load. So whenever incident form will load, we will run this script. Now this is what ServiceNow has kind of, I would say, power. That you don't have to mention something that where or in your code that where exactly it will run. It will automatically run on the client with some conditions, but now you will mention some scripts. Now, as we talked about the G underscore form, so if you remember, one of the API I mentioned in my slide, that is G underscore form object. Now, if I type G underscore form, I'm mentioning this object, and if I put dot, it will automatically show me the methods which I can use for this particular API. So glide form has this object, and this object has this all these methods. We can call them and we can have as per the functionality they have. So you can see, for example, add decoration. You can see it adds an icon on fields label. This method is available starting with the Fuji release. Uh, we can try to use, let's see which one we can use. Maybe we can put add error message for now. So if I put add error message here, I can put the error message I want to show on load. So this is a test script. Now I'm just using on the form because I'm doing some customization on the form, okay, on the client, user's client. So I'm putting G underscore form, and then I am just putting the method add error message. So it will populate the error message on incident form on load because we have already selected the load, that on what condition it should run this script. So I have added that. What I will do, I will just click on save. Now, if you will go here, or maybe I can just click here and open the form. And once form is loaded, see, you can see this error message. This is a test script. So it's quite simple. You don't have to put a lot of efforts in showing this error. So that's the reason, as I mentioned, with the help of G underscore form, it is giving you different methods so that you can utilize it on your client and you can use any function you want or any functionality you are looking for. But it has to be available with that particular object, or you should have that method for that scripting basically. Uh, if I go back to same climb script, so let me go over there. This is the one which we created, test one. This is the script field we have, and here we have mentioned our object and method. Now, with the same way, you can use any method you want for G underscore form. Now, you also have some other APIs which we discussed, like glide user, which shows you the information about the user and how exactly it will show. So for example, if I do G underscore user dot, when I do dot, it says first name. So for example, I can mention var a equal to G underscore user dot get full name. That's it. I just put the colon and that's it. So I'm done with the semicolon, and with this way it will return the user's full name. How? I can show you right away. So for example, if I put g underscore form dot add, this time I'm not going to put error message, I'm going to put info message. So every different method has different functionality. So I'm going to use info message. I will put here, and I will put yeah, maybe you have logged in as, I'll put plus a, I will save it. So currently, as you know, I have logged in as system administrator. That's my name. So let's see what it says. If I click here and I open any form, cool. It says this is a test script that came from our previous script we had, like g underscore form. And the next one is g underscore user. We just mentioned get full name. I didn't put anything else. So now it is showing you have logged in as system administrator automatically. I didn't do anything else. I just used the out of the box ServiceNow API to show this the logged in user's name. So this is how you can utilize G underscore user. Now I will have a separate session for all these major APIs we have, like G underscore form, G underscore user. How do we utilize them in the different use cases? So this is for G underscore user. So if you want to have any information related to user, you want to have first name, last name, full name, and there are some other methods as well. Just use them and get that information wherever you want to populate, push on the field, whatever you want to do on the client, you can do that. Let's talk about a use case for client-side scripting. Suppose your client or your customer reaches out to you and asks you to show a pop-up on the incident form when anyone changes the impacted urgency to high, or maybe the priority is high. So if I go to the form and if I'm creating a new incident and I make impact as high, urgency as high, and the priority will automatically become critical. So when it becomes critical, as an end user, I should see a pop-up. that, hey, do you really want to submit priority one incident? That kind of pop-up your requirement like requester is looking for. Now, in order to fulfill this requirement, we will only do client-side scripting because now we have to show the pop-up and how exactly we will achieve this goal. So let's create a client script. So I will go here. I will create a client script. I will create another one maybe this time. So I'm creating new client script and I will give it a name. Show alert on P1. It would be on incident table. UI type should be desktop. Type, I will mention on change. Now, I'm not going to do it. I can also do it on submit. So for example, if user clicks on submit button, he's going to create the incident. Then also I can do that. But what I want to do it in just first go. So when he changes the priority. So, and the field name I will mention. So whenever you will click this type as on change, it will automatically open a new field called field name. So as of now, I will put priority here. So what I will do, first I will get the value of priority. So I can do var a equal to g underscore form dot maybe I put get value, and I will, so you can see if I do get value, whenever I do that, you can see it also showing you that what exactly you need to use as parameter. It says field name as a string. So I can mention what field we are talking about, priority. So we will get the value of priority. We can also do it without doing that, like we can use maybe old value or new value. Yes. So, or maybe I can comment it for now. And what I will do, and I will do it on change. So if new value is equal to 1, and I'm sure that priority is 1. Maybe we can check it later, but that value should be, I think, 1. So if I have new value as 1, so new value is the one we are changing it. So if new value is equal to 1, I should see alert. You are going to create P1 incident. So I will save this. And if I click here, maybe I go to this and yep. See, so when I'm changing this to P1, it is automatically giving me that you are going to create a P1 incident. I will click just OK. Yes, that I want to. If you want to make it as a confirmation, you can also do that. So just you have to, in place of alert, you can put confirm. So you will have two boxes, OK or cancel. You can also do that. So this is how you create these alerts with the help of client-side scripting. But we will have proper use cases for every API we have, like Glide user, Glide form, Glide dialog box, Glide dialog window, Glide model, all these major APIs which are basically used every day in the life of a developer. Like whenever you will whenever you will like fulfill the requirement of your stakeholders, you will definitely utilize these APIs. So we will talk about those APIs in our later videos, and I will definitely post them. So this was all about our client-side scripting. Our next session will be around server-side scripting. So thanks for watching my video. Have a great day.